over him. Hey, what's up, wrestling friends and family? It is me, JB, the best Chris in all of wrestling podcasts. And today we have a guest. We have the best guest, the most, I believe he said it himself, the most tenured guy to ever make his appearances on this show. He is one of our favorite guests. He is the best, one of the best podcasters for wrestling out there. And if you don't know, you should know. Please take a listen to the TW Takes podcast. It is Bishop. Welcome back, Bishop.
Woo!
Holy shit. Welcome back, mate.
Need more whooping. We need like a fucking soundboard or something where
Maybe
we can
we
just
do,
fucking,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? Press that shit. Just be like, oh, like when, you know. Yes, boss. And just, yes, boy. Whenever someone decent comes on.
I was not expecting that noise. I'm sorry. Bishop,
right.
what's going on?
I was expecting that noise. I know what I came for. I was expecting that noise. I knew that was coming.
Oh, shit.
Chris over there yeeting himself away.
Bruv, I yeet whenever it is needed, and that needed a yeet. And yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Before we move on really quickly, there's an old friend in the chat as well, Justin Time 211. Holy shit, Justin. It's always good to hear from you, mate. We appreciate you stopping by. And we, what a guy. Thank you for dropping in. Like we said, Bishop, what's going on, man? What is going on?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I could stay ahead of Billy when it came to guest count on the show. You know, I got a little fear of missing out. I went a couple years without being on here. I mean, you guys mention me all the time, so that always, sends love.
You're here in spirit, bruv. The FOMO
Always,
is real, yeah?
always.
But
Yeah,
you're here in
for
spirit,
sure.
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I just watched you guys talk about soccer for like 2 hours yesterday, however long that show was. But I did watch the whole thing. You know, I listened to you guys and
Wiping Gooner tears from my friend here.
Why you gotta be like that?
Why?
being a champion when you're 17th is crazy.
Bro,
It's great.
it just means you turn up at the big fucking games and you do the business. You know what I mean?
I'm not talking about football today.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about football today.
I mean, I'm wearing a Columbia fucking shirt today.
Yeah. I was surprised to see you roll out in a Columbia.
Do you know
shirt.
why? Because I ain't got a Chile one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I will be getting one.
I think we all will.
Yeah, trust me, boy.
Did you ever get the NXT UK soccer shirt? You did
Yes.
get that one?
Yes. Enfield Town.
Yeah, I remember we were talking. I think that was the last time I was on. They were online like that day. We were looking at it.
We never
Oh,
needed.
look at that fucking thing. That is gorgeous.
We never needed the NXT shirts after we got these bad boys sorted out.
There we go.
Yeah, Chris is a genius. That's all I'll say in this one. And I'm sure if you ask him nicely, he'll make one for you.
Bro, we got you, man. We got you.
Bishop on the back.
I'm wearing my
and your
picture
favourite
right
number.
now.
He's got the merch. Yeah, I've still got them t-shirts, man.
Trust me, bro. Trust me.
Love it.
Full love.
You guys are the best.
Just a quick one, right? Off topic before we get into wrestling, right? Now we're like together in the studio, so we like to be situated within touching distance now, right? And we you know what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
you know it's
of
good.
course,
Yeah,
yeah.
come, let me touch you. So we like to be within touching distance of each other, and we have snacks, bro. Like we've got all the snacks, yeah.
We got drinks.
So we've got like squashies, yeah.
Can't see them now, yeah.
You know what I mean? But also in America, do you guys have like squash drink?
No.
It's like
No.
you ain't got that.
Like cordial.
Like
I guess,
cordial.
yeah.
Like you get water and then you put some shit in it and then it's a drink.
Well, I mean, we have all kinds of flavor enhancers to put in water, but nothing particularly called squash.
Like-
No.
Do you have Vimto?
No.
Bro, let me tell you something. This is
I agree. I agree.
Like-
I have Ribena at home, so that's the one.
Ribena, you know about Ribena though, innit? Do you have Ribena?
Just from
No.
you guys. Just from
Right.
you guys.
Blackcurrant.
So basically, you take a bottle of water. This is your average Kirkland spring water, right? And then you just pour a little bit of this in
Over the microphone and
over the microphone. Just don't tickle my fucking, right?
I'm fretting here, man.
And then basically, you just got to drink. So it is all about the squash. So we're squashing it up right now. I'm drinking Vimto, loving life, and we've got Bishop on. So we are over the moon. We're going to talk about
the world is all right, man. Like, can't hate this. Like, so how deep is your wrestling fandom at the minute? Because there is that post WrestleMania lull that everybody gets. I don't care unless you're like super into it, super nerdy. Like
For sure.
Post WrestleMania lull. Still.
Yeah, it's
So
been.
where are you right now?
I'm adjacent but enjoying. So when I get a chance to sit down and watch, I end up watching, like, let's say last week's SmackDown while Raw is on, and then I'll catch the first hour of Raw afterwards and then finish Raw 3 days later. And that's kind of where I'm at. I am so bothered I can't get NXT consistently. Like, I can't watch it consistently because they seem to be doing the most fun stuff over there. But as far as like the fandom goes, talking to you the other day, last night I actually did 3 hours with Wrestling on the Rocks. Justin hopped in, so it was cool to see him too. And the juices are flowing, man. And being on with you guys with the juices flowing, I couldn't think of a better place to be right now, my wrestling fan.
That's a lot of juice,
bro. Is wrestling still on the cock over there, or is it all on Netflix now? Or what?
It's both. Raw is on Netflix. USA has SmackDown, and NXT is on CW. But I use my internet device to change locations, and I'm usually connected to Spain, so I just watch everything on Netflix.
Yeah, bruv. Done now, as we say in the UK.
Yeah.
We got everything on Netflix. So for me,
although Worlds Collide is on YouTube.
Worlds Collide is on
for this
YouTube.
one, and the Saturday night's main event
in English and en español.
See,
obviously for the senors and senoritas. You know what I mean?
He's just showing off now.
It's mad. It's mad. I speak Greek, right? And I was out yesterday, and because I speak like this, I'm like, all right, mate, how's it going? Rare. And I saw one of my Greek friends and started speaking Greek to him, and everyone just turned around and looked at me like I was fucking some weirdo. They're like, what? Like, it freaked them out. It was mad. But yeah, I don't speak Spanish, as you can hear. But there you have it. I can speak a little bit Spanish. Senor, senoritas. That's about as far as it goes.
It's good.
So where are we gonna start?
Well, I think it's probably better if we start at the releases because that came first.
Okay.
I think it was. I'm not going to say it was overly shocking to see some of the names get released. I do think there are reasons, which is why we've stayed patient on, getting really upset that Truth was released. I mean, the discourse online, as always.
You could hear it on the shows. So you heard it on NXT. You heard it on Monday Night Raw. You heard the crowd saying, "We want truth. We want truth," and it was a constant throughout the whole show. People are making it clear that R-Truth wasn't necessarily there to wrestle. He was there as a morale booster for people backstage. He was like a father figure to people backstage. He was something that they could give any segment to, and he would just do something with it and just a little segue into whatever. You could chuck him into any situation, and he was able to do something with it and work with it. So the discourse online is basically blaming or pointing the finger at TKO for firing him, basically, and saying, look, it was his age. They're looking for the ROI, that return on investment. We don't know how much money he was on. They're not necessarily looking at the HR benefits of having someone like R-Truth backstage who everyone fucking loves, you know, but it's a business ultimately at the end of the day. So they're looking at it from the point of probably screen time. How much screen time does he have? What does he do? What are we paying him? Right?
Yeah, of course. It comes down to what he's actually worth in the realms of TV.
But I mean, merch wise, if they give him good t-shirts, I reckon R-Truth would still be selling good t-shirts. You reckon?
Well, the Ron Cena t-shirt I think sold really well, and they pulled it now. I can't remember for the life of me whether they pulled it off the site or whatever, but yeah, it's a difficult one, that one, because he had such great entertainment value, which is why they couldn't come to some sort of arrangement. He obviously thought he was worth more than what TKO or WWE were going to offer him. So it's much like any sport, you know. You go out thinking what you're worth and what you're worth, you know, in a monetary value. And if you don't mix it up, you don't meet up in that same way, go somewhere else or come back and renegotiate later on. Bishop?
Man, that's the better point is, you know, if that ROI isn't there, if you're not having, you know, a consistent presence on TV to, you know, raise your stock so your shirts do sell even when you do have them, regardless of who you are. I mean, you know, there's a dip in Stone Cold merchandise all the time. And then he pops on TV and then he sells 1 million shirts the next day, right? So, you know, all of that is part of it. But I mean, I swear, I don't think there's been one release in the last 4 or 5 years that's been surprising beyond Bray Wyatt. Like, other than that, all of them kind of make sense, and they always do because it's right there. It's obvious. I mean, you're saying it, Chris, right? These crowds are chanting, "We want truth." When's the last time they did that?
Yeah.
Not while he was there. You know, maybe when the Judgment Day stuff like was really going hot with him.
Yeah.
But that's just the hypocritical bullshit that comes with the IWC and even the fans in attendance. Like, you can cheer for them all you want, especially when they're there. But when they're not there and you cheer for them, it's foolish because you should have supported them beforehand, and then maybe they wouldn't be released.
I think there's a little bit of stuff going around, basically saying that they were expecting him to be more of a draw on that Saturday night's main event.
I've seen something different,
but basically, in my opinion, surely Cena should be the fucking draw and not R-Truth in that situation. So I mean, I don't know if that was sort of the final nail in the coffin or it was just timing that, you know, because they're doing segments with people and then releasing them sort of soon after anyway. It's not the first time it's happened that they're...
Well, no, Carlito was in an active storyline too with the Judgment Day. I mean, it was all right. There was nothing that I had against it, and he's not coming back. Obviously, again, it's another one that's not been released. It's a contract that's going to run out, and
I mean, it happens a lot. He provided his part, but he wasn't really doing anything. And his part, I don't know what these people get paid, and you know, I know what it's like to no longer have employment and to lose $1 million paycheck or a $250,000 paycheck. You know, if you're not saving some of that, like, that's a you problem. So, I mean, I'm not saying like good riddance, but also it's not like they just released Seth Rollins out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So, because like that's the thing, right? Let's say they release Seth Rollins right now. Everyone's going to go, oh my God, something must be wrong. There must be some type of legal thing going on, some type of backstage, whatever. Nobody's saying that about R-Truth and Carlito, right? They just want to see more of them. Like, but you can also see why they got released because they weren't doing shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and R-Truth is he's like 53. You know, Carlito's 46.
Is he?
Yeah,
Jeez,
Carlito's 46. Well, shout out to our boy Ian Harrison as well. So we did an interview with Ian Harrison, English wrestler who was in America for a long time, and he was saying that he wrestled Carlito like a lot, man, in South America and in the States, and he said he was a fucking great worker, you know. And we're not saying that Carlito's not a good worker, but the thing with Carlito is I'm surprised he's still been there all this time, because it literally started with him having a surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble. Do you remember? He came into the Royal Rumble.
Was it the Rumble or was it Backlash in
Backlash.
Puerto Rico?
Was it Backlash?
It was
Yeah,
Backlash,
so it was.
and then we didn't see him again until the Royal Rumble.
That's correct. Correct.
This particular run is off of that Royal Rumble appearance.
Yeah.
The heat check was definitely in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
He says, you two look like you're a football sign. Did you miss us holding up the shirt?
Yeah.
I could hold it up again.
That's the thing. Yeah. That's, you know, signing for Chat Grapple and Cheek Pops FC.
That's what we should get everyone to do that if they ever come up here. Yeah,
100%.
Sad to see Truth go, but it's a business now, and the roster is overflowing on all the WWE brands. It's inevitable they're going to release more talent. You have to blame the script writers too. That's Wayne. Shout out to Wayne, great friend of the show, Wayne.
I might add you on Facebook, Wayne, because I see you all the time popping up on my thing, bruv. So I might add you on Facebook.
Funny guy, Wayne.
Yeah.
He's you know what? I'll shout Wayne out here just quickly. The only guy that I know that's probably as fast mentally as Bobby Heenan.
Really?
Guy was so quick with the put downs.
Nice.
Unreal. Yeah.
Nice.
Good. Always good to hear from you, Wayne. Only get flash snippets of Drew, LA Knight, and other top talents. So there's going to be more unrest down the line. I don't know about that one. I think everyone will just be sort of happy they're still getting paid and being in jobs. Like, I don't know whether it'll go so deep as people will start to become super disgruntled. The only one who's probably disgruntled because he's not on TV is Karrion Kross. They need more younger guys. That's what NXT's for, right?
Well, I mean, I do agree. I mean,
and evolve. Sorry.
Yeah, evolve. Yeah. I mean, we've been having this conversation. Well, you know, for a while, and it pops up occasionally. If you look at the average age of the main eventers and mid-carders in WWE, none of them are young. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you've got, you know, CM Punk's there in the main event sort of fold. You've got AJ Styles who's there in about it.
It's an aging
roster.
Top, you've got to be careful because again, it's not how old you are as such, it's how old you are in like that TV age. And if you've been on TV consistently for 6 years, people get bored of it.
Well, bro,
it happened in WCW.
Do you know how fucking old the Motor City Machine Guns are, and Tommaso Ciampa and all them boys? Like, they're old, man. Like they're you know.
But
the
Machine Guns are relatively fresh on WWE television.
Yeah, so but Chris Sabin's dyeing his hair like a motherfucker, man. I've been watching. You know what? I love the Machine Guns, yeah, but he's dyeing his hair like a motherfucker. You can see it. I've been watching him on TNA since I was young, both of them. You know what I mean? So, if you know wrestling like we do, you know how old the Motor City Machine Guns are. But like what you're saying, on WWE TV, they are fairly sort of fresh in the eyes of whoever.
Yeah.
But there's, again, the young guys and the younger people are coming through. But I think mainly at the moment, it's the women that are coming through, the younger ones, because now they've got Julia, they've got Roxanne Perez, they've got our girl Stephanie coming through. So you've got a lot of the young women come through because NXT women,
I think, the women
incredible.
Sort of
it has been incredible. We've a couple of my mates that have watched WWE, but they don't watch NXT. And I've been saying for the last year, I'm like, dude, you need to if you're watching Raw and SmackDown, you need to be watching NXT because there's going to be women coming through that you're not going to know who they are, and they're incredible. And literally, I was out with them last night, and they're like, "You've got 3 of these women in the Money in the Bank, and I don't know none of them." It's like, well, you should have been watching NXT. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Matt. I told you, motherfuckers, you should have been watching NXT, and you weren't.
Yeah.
Don't know. Anyway, shout out to the man then. But it's true, isn't it? Like NXT's women division has been incredible for a long time.
Long time. And they're reaching the main roster quicker than the men. I mean, I think Stephanie came through after a lot of them. I think her and Ricky came around the same time, right? And she's already up, but he's not, or it's just shit like that. Where I think with the women it's less about the character and more about the ability. Because like look at Lyra, right? Lyra's doing some really good work now with Becky, and she had the gimmick with the song and the whatever Irish bird princess or whatever. But we never saw the character. But she gets the IC title with her ability, and now that character is really flourishing afterwards. So I think with the women, it's way more about the ability than it is a character. Something that's kind of holding Carmelo back right now. Not to get too far away from the releases, but like Carmelo has all the talent in the world, NXT champion, all this shit, but he's not clicking on the main roster because that character isn't quite there. The women don't necessarily have to go through that.
It's a really good point you make about Carmelo, because I feel the same about Santana. I think his character work a little while ago wasn't quite there. Right now, Santana is fucking killing it. And if anyone, like, he's one of my favorite guys to watch. So like if I'm, hoping anyone gets a call and has to switch from TNA to WWE anytime, it's going to be him. Like, and yeah, I feel that whole point with Carmelo, he just, something's missing. I know they put him with the Miz and stuff like that, but there is just, he's all the talent in the world. We need to see more.
Again, this is another point that I've brought up consistently, and I still think it's an issue. We need better and more managers, because sometimes talent has got talent. They can wrestle, they can work really well, but then sometimes they might need a bit of a catalyst to sort of, work their way into the fold. And I think what is happening right now, which is fucking genius, is you've got Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins basically acting like managers for Braun and
the two Bronnies.
For the two Bronnies.
Yeah.
So you've got the way that's working is great, because you've got Seth Rollins, who I swear has had a broken back for fucking, God knows how many months or whatever. He's got really bad back. But the way that it's working is basically he's becoming a mouthpiece for those guys, and it's working well because, Bron Breakker, the Steiner maths was cool and all that, but
that was amazing.
It was, it was
that bit of that WrestleMania pre-show party thing. Him doing the Steiner math thing on stage was fucking brilliant.
But again,
he can talk.
He can. Well,
and he can bark.
He can bark. But again, I think it's helping him massively having Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. I mean, why would it not help? And you got Big Bronson Reed as well. He can talk, but again, it's helping, and it's another decent sort of stable. Is anyone else getting added to that, do we think?
The stable?
Yeah.
I was sort of thinking you might get a female, but it's not happening.
Becky Lynch, I thought maybe
push. Before we move on, just quickly, the other release talent, Valhalla, Sarah Logan. Does no one have anything to say about that?
Yeah, no, I think one of them ones where,
she wasn't on TV.
Same thing.
Can't fault it. Like, it happens. People get, and again, if TV is your bargaining chip, and if you're not on TV, where are you? Yeah, like, bless her. I'm sure she'll get another chance somewhere else, and if she wants one, I think she's happily married and a mother and everything like that. So maybe she wants to chill.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Where do we move to next?
TNA. So we spoke about TNA.
TNA. Okay.
So the
number 2 company in the world. Right?
TNA is the number 2 wrestling company in the world. Give a fuck, mate. Fight me.
No, let's do it.
When you're a TNA mark, like,
open them sweet,
like me, what do you want? The peaches?
Yeah.
All right. So again, we got Haribo peaches, but these are from Belgium, right? These are some European shit. Yeah. So we get good Haribo in this country,
sweets,
but we don't always get these peaches. They're hard to find. I can only get them
at airports, so I don't know where you got them from.
From Belgium. My missus bought it from Belgium for me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro. So obviously, let's crack open the peaches. Yeah, go on, crack open them peaches. Millions of peaches for me. Yes.
It's President of the United States of America right there.
Yeah, man. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches, baby. Maybe buy myself a moon buggy while I'm there.
That song came out when I was in 5th grade, and I had, of course, no clue what they were talking about.
Mhm.
Get a little bit
But
older.
now you know.
Damn, a whole one, huh?
Yeah. Yeah,
All
baby.
peaches.
Oh, peaches, baby. So TNA, we're huge TNA marks, and we have been for years. And I always argue the point of when AEW was working with TNA, AEW was just sort of shitting on TNA quite a bit. But then now you've got people still arguing now that a WWE wrestler has won the TNA title on the WWE show. Is that shitting on TNA?
He's going to put someone over, man.
Of course he will.
I know TNA guy. They're going to do it so just for the optics. So it says we did a better job than you did with the championship. Trick Williams is a great fucking champion.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, that whole thing with the music and all that, he looks and comes across as a big star. So I think he's, you know, whoever he puts over, whether it's Santana or I hope it's not Moose or someone like that. I hope it's someone that hasn't had the belt yet. But
man, these peaches are fucking nice, man. Fuck. They're paying, isn't it?
I'm telling you, right? I just got a text. Leave those fucking peaches alone without me. That's my wife. She loves these things. She's picking up and she knows I'm eating these peaches.
It's all good, man. We'll do you. Honestly, we'll do your little doggy bag. We'll save you some. We're not going to eat them all.
That's fucking funny. Shouts
They're so good.
You know.
They're so good, man.
Yeah. Sorry, TNA. Bishop, TNA.
Yeah, I don't think the partnership has anything to do with AEW because, I mean, I've said this for a while, and of course, they're going to look at WWE's going to look at AEW and go, okay, that's what they're doing. But I don't think they're going to try to one-up them in any way. They're just going to go do what they do and be really fucking good at it. And from the beginning of this partnership, it's never been about who holds whatever title. It's never been about, you know, Kenny Omega belt collecting, right? And Kenny Omega beat fucking Rich Swann. So, like, whatever. We're building these fucking feuds. And he lost it to Christian, right?
Yeah.
On AEW. So it's not like like so, and it smartly for the lineage of the TNA title, I'm cool with that, right? But you're right, no current TNA talent got the rub from that. And what WWE's been doing since this started is it's been about combining eyeballs. That's it. Who watches you? Who watches us? Let's mash that shit together. Our guys show up there. Your guys show up here. Trick Williams may lose on the TNA pay-per-view. He may lose at fucking pre-SummerSlam, whatever NXT show that's going to be. Like, it truly, truly doesn't matter where it happens because at the end of the day, it is about merging eyeballs. And there'll come a time where most of who's watching NXT is now gravitating over towards TNA, or they may just fucking merge the companies together. Like, all of that is incredibly possible. Because at the end of the day, I think, because I believe Triple H said it, getting the reps with professionals means more than anything else. You know, having Trick Williams go against a Mike Santana so he has those reps with somebody who's been doing it for 20 fucking years is more important than him winning the title against Joe Hendry. You know, everything that, you know, Jordan Grace did with this partnership before she came over to NXT. It's also to put eyeballs that way. It was never about poaching talent. It's not about any of that shit. It's just eyeballs and getting professional experience with amateurs. And it's working really well.
I still think it was amazing what they did with Joe Hendry and Randy Orton. I still think that was, you know, and there were dickheads, bare dickheads at the time that were like, oh, fucking hell, they're burying Joe Hendry. And it's like, you fucking morons don't have any understanding of what it means to get the rub, right? You know, Joe Hendry was fucking ecstatic of what they did for him and what Randy did for him. You've got Randy Orton spinning round, doing the Joe Hendry pose, and then doing his, you know, that is absolutely a fucking pat on the back and a, you know, there you go, bro, sort of thing. You know, incredible stuff that's happening. And I
mean, it worked brilliantly for TNA as well.
Yeah.
The eyeballs on the TNA world champion walking out of WrestleMania, taking on, you know, at a time, one of the biggest WWE stars out there.
And obviously,
Yeah.
friend of the show, Joe Hendry.
Friend of the show, Joe Hendry.
We have met him. Top guy. He signed my guitar. So
it's not a euphemism either.
He literally signed my guitar. Nice guy, friend of the show. So
no, that's the thing. Fans, right? These fucking assholes. They don't understand what, like you said, what the rub is, right? And I don't necessarily like using wrestling terms like that, but the truth is, it was a polishing. It was a showing. Remember when Jordan Grace, as the champion, showed up in the Women's Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know how many people she eliminated?
Probably quite a few, no? Or none?
0.
Yeah.
Amazing.
0.
She lifted someone above her head, though, right? And done some
Right.
fucking...
Yeah, she showed the test of strength. She was in there for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
She eliminated 0 people, but you remember the moment. You remember the woman showed up with the title, did her thing. The 0 eliminations is just something that shocked me, just like you now. You're like, oh, it must have been fun. It was nobody. But the exposure was there. And now you know who that is. And the moment with Naomi and all that history, then Jordan Grace has been a name on our minds for the last 2-3 years, you know? So, like, that's what it's about. So when Joe Hendry does pop up again, you go, oh, shit, that's the guy who faced Randy Orton at WrestleMania, not the TNA champion who lost at WrestleMania.
100%.
The exposure was way more.
The perception, yeah.
Absolutely right. Moving from TNA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about AEW because it's fucking flat right now.
We don't have to. Money in the Bank's this weekend.
I mean, we have to talk about AEW.
Yeah, we do have to talk about AEW, but Money in the Bank's this weekend. Worlds Collide is this weekend. It's a huge weekend for the WWE.
I'm looking forward to Worlds Collide. I'm looking forward to El Hijo del Doctor fucking
Dr. Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner. You know, Mr. Chameleon or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mr. Iguana, innit? Mr. Iguana.
Fuck. Hang on.
Mr. Chameleon. I've got a fucking... I have a lizard as a pet. I get confused.
I know.
Is that a euphemism?
my lizard's called Dusty after Dusty Rhodes as well. No, it literally is a reptile.
Gotcha.
I don't know, man. I think
I know you just might be in the back shit and skin.
It's a bit, it's a bit scaly still.
Listen, we're having a bit of problems on your side, mate. I don't know if you feel it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. How about now?
Your internet's a bit choppy.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. That's our first time in a while.
Elon Starlink not working.
I'm good on my side. You guys are good on me too.
That was good. You're back.
Okay.
Technical
everything looks fine on my side.
Every show.
We're live, pal.
Yeah, every fucking show. What was I looking for? The Worlds Collide card, actually. I was going to get that up.
Well, I'll tell you what. While we're talking about that, while he's getting the card up, let's talk about Chad Gable for a second.
You mean El Grande Americano?
It's not. He's a separate person.
Sorry.
And you will treat him and respect him as such.
Well, I respect Lucha.
Of course you do.
I buy many masks when I go to Mexico.
You do indeed. Yeah. You are a frequent visitor to Mexico. You know, Chad Gable, it was a surprise to see him win the qualifying match, I'll be honest. When you're in there with AJ Styles and CM Punk. But I'm not mad about it.
Grande Americano win that match?
Sorry. Yes, he did. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
They're separate people, and you treat them as such, and you will show the respect.
That's what. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's why we love. That's why we love Bishop on the show. He puts me in my place. No, you're correct. It was El Grande, but yeah, I was surprised to see him win it, but I weren't mad at it. But then obviously you got fucking these gluckers talking about, you know, them disrespecting Lucha and all that sort of thing. It's like, dude, it's a fucking work. It's fucking wrestling, man. You think like, you know, the reason why they're doing it is because they've got the AAA acquisition. They're doing it to create stories. That's what it is. Like Lucha Libre has got the most wildest characters and the craziest stories. Do you think they give a shit about a fucking gringo Like,
imagine the heat he gets when he goes to
of course,
yeah,
brother, the
like,
roof's gonna go crazy when Chad Gable's against fucking Vikingo or whatever.
Yeah,
It's gonna go wild.
The heat for that is going to be insane. The heat when El Grande Americano, whoever he may be,
Yeah,
if he shows up in AAA, they're going to throw piss at him.
it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be old school.
It's
they're
gonna
going to be throwing batteries and piss and everything. They're going to fucking go mad.
It's great.
But yeah, sorry. So the card here, like, is you got Legado del Fantasma taking on El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown.
Yep.
Vikingo and Chad Gable. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix. Holy shit, that's going to go. I mean, it's going to be good. I hope it doesn't just go spot to spot. Like,
it might be flippy floppy.
Shows, yeah.
It may be flippy floppy, but Lucha again is a lot of that anyway.
Yeah, Stephanie Vaquera and Lola Vasquez, Chick Tormenta and Dallas.
Jeez. Don't know.
I wonder if Booker T's on commentary.
Man, he might have a fucking heart attack.
Man.
Oh yeah, man.
You got Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro and Lince Dorado against Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and your favorite, Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana. Looking forward to that.
I'm going to stroll around my Mr. Iguana out later on.
Obviously,
wait till I get home.
Obviously. But, you know, Lucha Libre, this whole acquisition, again, it's got people salty, man. You know, it's got people really salty.
But why?
Because, I mean, maybe WWE is getting a little bit of a monopoly in a way. If you look at it from the point of they're sort of swallowing up territories, sort of, in a way. You know, they're sort of...
We've been here before.
We have been here before.
Yeah.
For me, it's the way the wrestling world's different now. And, you know, look at the glamour that's just turned up on NXT, right? Mariah May. Anyone who's a wrestling fan and then became a wrestler, where do they want to go and work? Really? Where's the show?
Telling me they don't want to work in a supermarket car park in front of in front of 28 people.
Maybe Mall of America.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, everyone wants to go WWE, right? Bishop?
Yeah.
That's the show, right?
Yeah.
You know, you've got God knows how much money Tony would have offered Mariah May. You've got dickheads online saying it was $1 million.
Yeah, there's no source, there's no proof to that. I'm not giving that any credence whatsoever. Them saying they offered her $1 million, she chose to take 200,000 go WWE.
Yeah, but they said that.
No, there's no source. I'm not having it.
But they've said that about the other people. They said that about.
I don't think she got 200,000.
But mate, they said that too when someone else was moving. Oh yeah, Tony, Jade Cargill. They said he offered Jade Cargill $1 million and she turned it down and went to WWE. Now they're saying he offered Mariah May $1 million. And
is it just like the standard?
It's just the standard. Tony Khan offers them £1 million. They turn it down to go WWE. But again, that's the show.
My argument on Mariah May was the complaint was, she went from working in front of 50,000 at Wembley, disputed, obviously, that number. We were there. 50,000 to working in, a warehouse in Florida, all that stuff. But what happened after she won that match at All In, or whatever it was, at Wembley? How long ago was that?
I mean, we were there.
Yeah.
We didn't pay.
Yeah, no, we didn't pay. But how long ago was that? What happened afterwards? She had the worst title run.
Yeah.
It's completely forgettable.
No.
Like, she did nothing
until
she had to give the title back.
Their weekly show, they were in front of 5,000 people.
Yeah.
So, like, could they build the Wembley? Yeah, congratulations. They do pack out a stadium for their pay-per-views. I'll give them credit for that. But I said that one of my comments to that was, imagine going from the main event of WrestleMania to wrestling in front of, 4,500 people every week. And that's Sasha Banks, right? She main evented WrestleMania. And now she's literally in front of, 4,000 people, 3,000 people every Wednesday night. Like, that's
eating steak. Yeah.
Like, it's
that
just
was literally this week. She was eating steak and it looked like shit. it looked completely overdone. I'm sorry, like
Right.
you know, that's my steak preference. I'm not having it like that. Like
Yeah.
that's a mess.
I have it bleeding though.
No, I'm not. I'm a medium guy, but like, yeah, no. Sorry, Bishop. How you having your steak?
It looks like my background.
Red.
Yeah.
No, that's the
Yeah,
only way respectfully to eat a
You know
steak
what?
is raw.
Raw.
Yeah, basically, you put it in the pan. You go tish, and then you fucking
Oh, that's
take it
blue,
out and
right?
you eat it. No, I don't have it blue. I have it cooked.
My wife has it blue. She like literally it's flip done.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a disgrace. It's an absolute. You know, it's
It melts in the mouth, bro. It's
not
nice.
blue. No,
Yeah,
that's a insult to the animal that died for it.
No, it's better because then you're tasting the proper essence of the creature. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
don't know what to say. like, yeah. So, okay. So rare steaks for you guys.
Rare
Yeah,
steaks all day
But
long.
if you saw the one that Mercedes had last night, it was the color of the background. Like it was a right mess. And yeah, like I do still think that her and Tony are the biggest female stars in that company right now. So you have to build those two to have their match and whatever.
But what else is there going on?
Yeah, like Mercedes is arguably the biggest female star in the company. She should. I said, fuck it, give her the men's world title. You know, just give her everything. Like she's probably one of the biggest draws they've ever had.
No, the biggest draw was Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose snogging on the cruise, wasn't it? No.
No.
Is it not? No.
No.
Thunder Rosa cooking in her underwear.
Marty Elias'
his favorite wrestler. Yeah. We'll get to that.
We'll tell you off air.
We'll tell you off air.
I got. Fuck it. I don't care.
We got.
Turned us down. Like,
yeah. Twice.
Yeah.
Long story short, there's not a lot going on in AEW's women's division. If you look at,
they've got the toxic spider. She looks good, but you know
what's her name?
Thekla.
Thekla. Yeah, that actually means Greek. That's Greek. Thekla.
Is it?
Yeah, and it actually means power of God.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing to do with spiders.
Bishop, did you know that the Greeks invented being gay?
Yes, because I listened to
it. Yeah. I mean, it didn't start with anal. It was olive oil between the thighs first.
All right.
And then they thought, oh fuck, we're missing a trick here. There's a hole there.
They just slipped.
Yeah.
They just
like, oh. We invented bumming, but you know, if you compare the AEW women's division to even NXT's women's division over the last
perfect time in that
couple of years, you know, there's no comparison really. Yes, you've got Toni Storm doing what she does. You've got, you know, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné doing what she's doing. You had Mariah May. You've got the other two tag team, the other two lasses. What's her name? In a nice little tag team at the moment. The other Australian,
Harley Cameron.
Harley Cameron and Anna Jay,
mm-hmm.
doing good work. I mean, Harley Cameron needs to really go WWE as well. I think.
Is Camille still over there?
Oh Christ! As far as we know,
she is, but she's not.
Under contract.
Yeah,
got dropped. Like, you know, she was meant to be the muscle for Mercedes. Got pulled out. Got dropped from it, and haven't seen her since. They promoted that movie that she was in. Didn't use her for any of that promotion. Used Toni Storm.
Yeah,
and it's someone who's now essentially sitting on the bench, and I don't think we'll see her in an AEW ring again.
No.
That's great.
And I mean, that's absolutely hideous. That is like, again, you make people are grown. They're grown adults. They make their choices. She's made the wrong one. She made the right one for her at the time. I'm sure she's probably getting paid to sit at home, so that's never a problem. Yeah, right. But if it's career satisfaction you want, she wants to be working.
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm disappointed with how that ended. Up. I'm disappointed how it's worked out for Lady Frost. She's now essentially a jobber on TV. I know there's a point where she says working indies and all that, and same with Deonna Purrazzo. Like some of these women who have turned up for AEW have gotten the monthly bump. It's one of Tony Khan's favorites. The monthly bump. Move on to the title shot, and then we've got to phase you out.
Mm-hmm.
Next toy's coming in. Yeah, fuck's sake, man.
The one that upset,
that shit annoys me.
Yeah, Deonna Purrazzo was one that disappointed me because she was doing bits in TNA and then she was to nothing.
That's what bothered me about Josh Alexander signing over there. It's like, look, get paid, do what's right for your family, all that shit. Never insulting the business model of AEW for taking care of their people financially, right?
No.
Now, he does it as a deficit instead of making money on the product, which, of course, is why he sucks. But everyone's getting paid over there. Cool. But like you just said, flavor of the month. Now there's a new month. There's a new flavor. And I saw Josh Alexander's debut on Twitter. I thought that was pretty cool. Good for him. And then I haven't seen anything else. And the same thing with Camille, right? Like there was this, oh, she's here. Lady Frost, same thing. Like, where is everyone? Where is everyone now? And that's the detriment that, why would Mariah May go to NXT? This is why.
Yeah.
Because this is what's happening with who's there now. She got built up, like you said. She won the title, the great story that they had, all that shit that they were doing. I don't watch any bit of TV of AEW. I catch it all on Twitter and absolutely loved how cool. I remember showing the family, hey, check out this clip. Guess which one's Tony Storm? And they couldn't, right? Because that's how invested in the story they were to make sure that Mariah and Tony were as simpatico as possible. It was great shit. But what's next? And it just never left. And that's a bummer. So I'm glad to see more people show up in NXT. And if Camille ends up there and Lady Frost ends up there and, whoever's on the sideline ends up there, let's do it, because it's a bummer.
I will say that Tony Storm had, with reinventing herself and having this character to be on TV. I'm not going to give too many props to the writing team because you can't, because of just on their own track record of what they've done out in everything else. So Tony Storm's work has been fantastic, and I imagine that when the time comes, 6 months from the end of her contract, when the overtures come, they say, well, it's time for Timeless to make her way back to WWE. Then she'll get pulled from TV and she'll be on the bench again. And it's a shit system, but we understand that system. Everybody gets paid. We're happy for that. But yeah,
well, I think you're right about not giving AEW credit, because Tony Storm is probably the perfect example that their writing team sucks, right? She's built this on her own, and yes, sure, maybe somebody gave her the idea. Yeah, sure, maybe somebody works with them or works with her to get some of that done. But if they can create this Tony Storm, they can create something else. And I feel like they didn't create this Tony Storm. This is a Tony Storm thing, and that's why no one else is getting created anywhere close to this. The gimmick is theirs to write their own stories and figure out what they're doing. It's why no one else really has progress in the company from a character standpoint. I'm pretty sure Swerve is in charge of most of what he has to get done too, right? And he just continues to get the opportunity to be on TV. I just don't see any type of growth in anyone else. And I think that would be proof that the writing team, that if it does exist, is not very good.
I don't think it exists. It's like the Elite Selling Crew. It don't exist.
It don't exist.
It's one of those things where it's down to the talent. We've had a few people come into the public sphere and talk about the carnage and the chaos that is the backstage of AEW. It's basically people shouting ideas out of what they want to do, and if they've got the ear of Tony Khan and they're allowed to do what they want, then they do it. And sometimes it hits and sometimes it don't. And like you're saying, I think, this Tony Storm thing is clearly a Tony Storm creation. The way that she's able to do it, you can't tell me anyone who isn't, Australian or whatever, or that has got, that's not sort of. I don't know if it's sort of. Is it American humor, the stuff that she's doing, talking about, when she's talking about slop tarts and that? Like, I think that's sort of, it's very British-esque language.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like that banterous sort of.
It's the banter,
Australian thing,
because Australians are very close to British in the way that we talk and the way that we act and the way that the banter is. We both use the C word as everything.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So you can tell that Tony Storm is in charge of what she's doing, calling people slop tarts and talking about tits up, tits out, watch out for the shoe and all this shit. Yeah. She's doing it in an English accent, like an old British actress and all that sort of thing. Because she spent a lot of time over here, Tony Storm, a huge amount of time in NXT UK.
Sorry, I know you mentioned the Elite Selling Crew just a second ago. Yeah. Speaking of crews, we shout out to Connor, who is a big Columbus Crew guy.
Yes.
How are you, Connor? We hope you're all right, mate. Wayne also says, is Brooke Baker still being used on AEW? That's a big fat no.
Yeah.
When was the last time she was seen on TV? I don't know. Again, she was the star. She was the big acquisition. She was the woman who the division was built around. And now she is again.
But then
she's chilling.
In the words of my Jamaican brethren, what happened then? You know what I mean? What happened to you? You know what I mean? Where's she gone? Why is Britt Baker not on TV? She's not injured, is she?
Well, Thunder Rosa is out there begging for a Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker match at All In. It's not going to happen, obviously.
But... Yeah, but I mean, Thunder Rosa's always begging it, bruv. She's Beggy Mitchell. You get me? She's always begging it. Thunder Rosa's always begging it. No, I mean,
we're never going to get an invite onto that underwear cooking show now.
Of course we're not, bro. No. She's never going to go on Sunday Kitchen, is she?
No,
not in her panties and that.
I love that. Hang on. Didn't know the C word was an everyday usage word in the UK. Over here, it's like an unspoken no word.
Bro, cunt is an every hour word over here. Like, it's literally like it's used as a vowel, as a verb, as everything. It's literally like, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh no, you guys are freezing out now.
That's all good. The AEW setup. The AEW setup is never gonna come close to the organization and the way that things are put together like WWE. No. And there are things that you're gonna lose from that. You are gonna lose individuals' ability to have their own maybe spin on what they're doing, like what happens with Tony Storm. You are going to lose that ability in WWE where it's a bit more regimented. But then you do have people like Karrion Kross who come out and do things like they've done. So
and is it my internet or yours? Is it just me? Am I the only one on the show right now? Because I don't think Karrion Kross is doing good work.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wayne
man,
Wayne
alive.
is correct. It was probably the cunt police pulled the plug. Yes.
What a bunch of cunts.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that was messed up. We apologize for that ridiculous technical difficulties moment. It happens every fucking week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a bit of a messed up tradition.
But we're good now. I think it should be on and working fine now.
We're all right. Yeah, we sure.
Yeah, we should be good.
I just saw Wayne's chat. I should have stayed on and kept talking shit.
Yeah,
but I didn't see the chat. I was actually still going, but I bumped out in case it was me.
Are you what are you eating right now, Bishop? Peanuts or
Cookie dough? Just cookie dough.
Cookie dough.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have literally nothing in the house to eat. No nuts, no nothing. And I just saw
nothing because last time you were on, was it last time he was on? He was glucking the nuts.
He was smashing the nuts into his mouth. Yeah. Wayne makes an excellent point. The swear jar should get Chris to WrestleMania. It probably should.
Yeah, man. It absolutely should.
Yeah, fuck. I need to swear a bit more. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should just play it straight and try and keep it clean.
I mean, we try.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, it's an occupational hazard of being British. You can't, I find it extremely difficult to have a conversation and not use at least one expletive. Like obviously when I'm at work, it's different, but sometimes it's not, because even sometimes when clients come in, if they swear, I know that's a green light that then I can swear. So it's like sometimes I'll be there effing and blinding with clients, which is fucking great. When you're able to do that, like it's fucking brilliant. It's like the best part of my day when that happens.
I swear at work all the time. I don't care. Like that's just it. Like I have a job. Do I love it? Who loves their job mainly? I mean, not a lot of people.
Yeah.
If I swear and if I get in trouble, I'll say "fucking hell, I'm sorry." Like that's about it.
Well, I'm fucking sorry.
Yeah, that's what they'll get. They'll get the half-hearted. Oh, fucking hell, fuck me, what the fuck? Like, I'm so fucking sorry.
This is bollocks. You know what I mean?
How have I hurt your fucking feelings today? That's work chat out of the way. Anyway.
So where was we? We were talking about Britt Baker.
Britt Baker, yes. Yeah. Sorry, Britt Baker, the poor dentist.
Yeah, Can we actually, when we talk about Britt Baker, let's talk about Adam Cole, baby, as well, very quickly.
Why?
Because did you see what fucking the Australian Cole
Fletcher
did to him?
Yeah.
Did you see that, dude?
The power bomb onto the ring apron he ends up just clipping the top of his head. Like occupational hazard, maybe.
Thing is, though, you could see that he was so far away from the ring that he was meant to do it like that. You can't.
Those mistakes will always get highlighted. Whether it happens or not. Like I've not seen many, if any, other Kyle Fletcher botches. Kyle Fletcher is a good wrestler, in my opinion.
I mean, we've seen him live a few times.
But I think he's very good. But
we've seen him actually very close live.
It's. I don't think it was. I don't think you're going to see many of those, and it just so happens it was Adam Cole, so it's going to get highlighted.
Maybe he's just used to doing it on taller opponents.
Maybe. See, that's a very good point. You do.
Why you got to be logical with this shit, Bishop? For fuck's sake.
Well, no.
What I do, man.
Come on, man. That's what I do, isn't it?
If he had practiced with Hornswoggle, he would have been
fine.
Hair.
He would have cleared it.
Connor's asking if that's a Columbia shirt, Chris, or jersey.
It's a long sleeve jersey, dude. Yes, it is.
Who the fuck buys long sleeve football jersey?
Me, bruv, because then you can roll them up and it looks even better, bruv. You know what I mean? This is 2014, 2015 long sleeve Columbia.
Do they have Green Bay Packers long sleeve jerseys out there?
No.
Only different. You fucking know about fucking long sleeve jerseys, bruv. Come on, man. You know about them long sleeve shirts.
I know about the long sleeve jerseys, but I'm asking if the Packers have one as well. I mean,
No. I love a long sleeve jersey, football shirt. I love a long sleeve shirt. because they're super rare to get. So I always, if I see one, I'll get them.
Yeah,
I mean, and obviously they didn't have, you know, I had this, so I'm wearing this, but I will be getting the Chile one at some point with Vicaire 69 on the back.
Why 69? Why 69?
Oh yeah, man, you know why? Come on.
I don't know what to say. Like that's
Thing is, though, again, Stephanie Vicaire is another one that, you know, she was in AEW for
one night, 2 nights?
Yeah,
Like,
so she was there for 1 or 2 nights, and for whatever reason, she chose not to hang around. And everyone shat on her.
Wayne makes a very good point there, don't you think?
Carl Fletcher busy botching out the back. I mean, he probably is hanging out the back of Sky Blue regular, bruv. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a very interesting point, don't you?
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting point. Like,
Chris could pull off an NBA one, like let's see, was muscle tops. Chris, yeah.
I mean,
you want to get them guns out? Yeah?
Obviously, I'm hench, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Like, touch my arms, I allow you in it.
Oh, see,
Pretty hench still. You know what I mean? Barely.
This is what happens when we sit in the same room. We just end up fucking about. Like, yeah, you want to reach over and grab it, Chris. Move over.
Oh no, that way.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, man. Fuck into the abyss.
We were talking about wrestling.
We were talking about, again, like, so talking about Stephanie. We're talking about Britt Baker disappears. We're talking about how AEW deals with their talent and what happens. And you're in for a month. You're flavor in a month, then you're gone. You know, Stephanie Vicaire, really,
she was a flavor for a night.
She was flavor for literally two matches, and then, you know,
she was the champ, right? She was the CMLL champ or whatever.
Yeah,
she was in there. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. Like, you know, if AEW had, but we've said this from day one, they don't have the infrastructure to be able to facilitate multiple talented wrestlers. They've got a very small shelf for the top tier and a very small shelf for the mid tier, and, you know, a very small tier for the jobbers.
I think with a 4-hour show they would introduce 1 or 2 newer characters, not necessarily characters, wrestlers, something like that. But it's not. It's the same old
So
shit.
what shows do they have now then? They've got Dynamite and they've got
Dynamite, Collision. That's it, I think. But Fyter Fest was a 4-hour thing, and you know, it was a 4-hour Wednesday night show. I don't know how many. I would be very interested to see what the ratings were on that, because who's tuning in to watch that for 4 hours? Like, honestly, apart from your diehard,
probably less people than are watching us right now.
Maybe.
So we've got eyes on the product right now. Yeah, AEW, again, it's disappointing, man. You know, they've had a lot of very good talent go through there, but they just don't have the infrastructure to, or the writing. It's more the writing capacity to be able to do.
Not a lie, but I'll tell you a small truth on this. I am making sure I catch up to see where the MJF and the Hurt Syndicate thing is going. I am just putting that clip up on YouTube, finding out what they've done this week, which is usually talk. They're not really doing a lot. They're just talking, and then they, you know, move on. So I get about 8 minutes of AEW viewing in a week.
Are you not looking at the breakdowns of talking versus wrestling? Like they used to be breaking down on each show how much talking you get, how much wrestling you get.
No, because I'm not a dickhead.
Yeah, but do you remember that? Like it was like a regular thing.
The fuck.
You know, they were like, oh, AEW Dynamite.
The watch, yeah, the
watch wankers, as we call them.
Have a bit of Vimto, please.
Do you want a bit of Vimto, bro?
Too wax lyrical.
So Vimto, just so you can imagine the notes that are in your mouth, you've got.
Please describe what would be on my tongue.
But I will describe what will be on your tongue. Yeah, so you've got grape, blackcurrant, raspberry. You've got barley malt, some more fruits, some spices.
How many additives?
There ain't no. So this one, there's no additives. That's why I get it. Yeah, so it's just potassium sorbate and benzenate, but that's in everything. but yeah, this is honestly.
Oh, concentrates of carrot and hibiscus.
Yeah, mate. Trust me, we've got the good shit over it. I'll tell you what, bro. We will send you some Vimto. We're gonna get you some Vimto because I'll tell you what. Once you have Vimto, you won't go back. Yeah.
Think of the tariffs, bro.
Fuck the tariffs. Look, Trump, do the Trump dance. Don't worry about the tariffs. We don't worry about them.
You're gonna have to get him a shirt as well.
Oh, we'll get you a shirt,
man.
We'll get you a shirt.
What's your favorite number?
Fuck.
If it was on the jersey, if you were playing in the team,
50.
what would be your number?
50.
50. Same age as Chris.
Hey man, fuck off! I'm a young looking 45. Yeah. I swear down, that's not my nan. Yeah. She's a mature looking 50. Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, all right, we'll get you a jersey with 50 and we'll get you some fucking Vimto, dude, because you're missing out.
Here come Dave Meltzer's going to be coming out with the excuses.
Yeah.
Connor didn't watch Fighter Fest last night because it was on the same time as game 1 of the NHL final.
Hockey?
Yeah. Game 1. So I guess that's the best of 7. Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Stanley Cup. So game 1, game 1's not as important as if like game 4, is it? Like,
bro, but, is that like a play? That's like a playoff then.
Yeah, final. Game 1 is the second most important game, and behind whatever game is going to be the elimination game. But game 1's always important to watch. I don't like hockey, so I don't watch it. But if it's game 1 of the World Series or game 1 of NBA or what have you, then you definitely want to make sure you watch game 1 to kind of see where the teams are.
Have you seen the movie Basketball?
Of course.
Yes, right. Every time I think of like American playoffs, bro, I think of when they're sitting there, they're like, okay, and then these guys face each other in the North, South, East Division, East, Northern, and all that sort of shit. When you've got the massive shit behind them, it's like that's what I imagine like American playoffs
it's basically
to be.
That. It's basically that. Yeah.
No, Daddy, don't touch me there. That's a fucking great movie. I fucking love Basketball. That's my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have one game at a neutral venue. Done. Yeah. Like, can you imagine that Europa League final? Sorry, I'm going to dip onto football for a second. And those two shithouse teams played 7 games. Oh man, can you imagine? People hate them forever.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, does it happen in like the best of 7s? Do you get like the really boring games and people just turn off?
Sometimes like there's especially with the NBA now, where defense is kind of just not part of the game anymore. You'll have a 30-point blowout in the NBA Finals, and that team who won by 30 may end up losing the entire series. So it does sometimes get to that level. Yeah,
that's fucking wild.
Surely, yeah. Like even if you won the first 2, like, and you thought, you know what, let's dial it back a bit and let's rest ourselves. We can lose this one because we can smash the shit out of them in games 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that? I mean, that's entirely possible, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's wild that they play each other 7 times. That's wild.
I mean, and United played each other 4 times and it was shit.
We beat them every fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose the NFL is it doesn't have a best of 7 Super Bowl. I mean, fucking hell, that'd be
the only one. Sudden death every week. Every single round of the playoffs is 1 game only. Yep.
Even we laugh sometimes at a 2-legged tie, like where they play each other home and away, and they aggregate the scores and that, and it's
But they don't aggregate the scores in there. It's just like a game you win, game you lose.
They should do that across the 7 games. Whoever's got the most amount of points wins.
That would be fucking sweet, dude. That's what you do in the football over the 2 games. You do the aggregate score. So if someone wins 1-0 in the first one, but they lose 3-1, then
they're out.
They're out. Yeah, we aggregate the scores, and they should do that over 7 games. It'd be like 250 to 189 or something.
Well, it makes everything count, and you can't let your foot off the gas. You have to play defense. You have to really make sure that you show up to play, and that's part of the entitlement that comes with how much athletes make, right? Well, I'm already paid, so fuck it. What's a big problem over here is all the all-star games aren't competitive because there's no incentive for them to be competitive. And sometimes, in baseball, they were like, oh, well, we'll put the winner will get home field advantage in the World Series. Their entire division will get home field advantage in the World Series. And basketball was something. They always try to put something on the line, but the entitlement of the athletes making so much money, there really isn't like an emphasis on winning anymore, an emphasis on rivalries anymore. Like all those basketball guys from the 80s and 90s fucking hated each other. And now all the basketball players today, like they're all friends and have businesses together and shit like that. It's a big, big difference.
Same with football, isn't it?
I feel that absolutely because there's two football players who, when they were rivals in the late 90s and that, they absolutely fucking despised each other. When they crossed onto the pitch, onto the field, they were literally throwing hands, like, grabbing each other by the throat and that. Now, obviously, they've been on podcasts together and done shows and that, and things have calmed down. But I mean, I still think it kicks off a little bit in football. Like, it's not so much, can kick off in a good ruck.
I think it happens more with the foreign players. So, like you had in the Europa League final, you had fucking Romero just being a complete shithouse, and just winding people up all the time, which was fucking fantastic.
They're on crazy money, like £100,000, £200,000 a week.
You got people on like £250,000 a week, which is like what, $300 and something $1,000 a week.
That's crazy.
Crazy money, dude.
Then
they go to Saudi Arabia and they get even more than that. You've got some people
$800K a week.
There was a deal that someone was talking about. Bruno Fernandes recently was offered something close to sort of £900,000 a week.
Yeah, you can't be paying.
Do you know what I mean? That's fucking wild. That's crazy money.
$50 million a year. Yeah, it's $50 million a year.
That's barely changed to a strong businessman like yourself, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got a businessman, businessman.
Connor says that listening to two British blokes talk about American sports is entertaining. We hope it's actually coherent and entertaining. Wayne says we got the most sports, Connor, over here on a yearly basis, so we clued up. This side of the pond, we're relatively clued up.
Yeah, we get most of it, man. We get most of the.
If we have a problem or we don't know, we can ask our American correspondent, the Packers enthusiasts, to tell us what's what.
Yeah,
very simple. That's why I check in with you guys for that soccer stuff.
Well, we'll have plenty more of the football. Well, you don't call it football, do you? The soccer stuff over the summer, because there's plenty to talk about. Always is. Final thoughts on Money in the Bank, because we didn't really talk about it too much before we, went on to all sorts of other things. Will you be watching? It's not on Netflix, it's on Peacock, so I'm guessing you have the
it's on Peacock, but I'll probably use the change your location device to watch it on Netflix, because there's no commercials when I do it that way.
He doesn't want to hear about dude wipes.
Do you not want to hear about dude wipes? No.
I mean actual. They'll put it on a full commercial on Peacock. They will cut away from WWE content and give me some type of fucking advertisements for some bullshit that's not even part of the program. So, but if I put it on the Netflix part, then that doesn't happen.
That's one thing I've always found quite fucking wild about American TV, like, because even back in the day when I was watching Dave Chappelle's show and that on Comedy Central or whatever, and it's like half the show's fucking commercials, man. Like you could watch an hour show and get like
35 minutes of content.
Yeah, like 28 minutes of a fucking show, and the rest of it's commercials. Like, it's fucking wild, man. Like we don't.
Well, one of the big national broadcasters here is commercial free, like completely.
Yeah.
Like even its online iPlayer, as they call it, commercial free. There's no breaks, like nothing. Like other channels, well, they will have their commercials, but yeah, the BBC is like completely commercial free. It's like, so when you do like, for instance, I think I told you I watched the last game of the season on Sci-Fi.
Oh yeah.
I watched Arsenal and Southampton, on Sci-Fi, and the ads, it was like if it wasn't, there was an ad in the corner, there was an
Picture
ad
in picture.
on the score thing, they would take that away to put an ad on, like, and say Geico this or whatever, like, and then it was, and then it was burgers in between, at half time.
Mm-hmm.
It was Wendy's. It was, it just made me hungry, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's a different world.
Wild, man, wild. Money in the Bank, though.
Yeah, are we in the men's Money in the Bank? Are we looking past Seth Rollins, or is there no point?
Yeah, he's the only logical one. I don't necessarily see anyone else getting it, especially Andrade or El Grande Americano. And Solo and LA Knight seem to have their own thing going on. Would they give it to Penta that way? He'd look the coolest with it. But, I mean, Seth Rollins just seems like he needs to be the one to get it. But this might be the first Money in the Bank in a while where, like, it seems way too apparent who it's going to be. But it'd be cool to see LA Knight get it. I just don't necessarily think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, out of all the people, so in the Money in the Bank, we've got Penta, we've got
Penta, Andrade,
yeah,
El Grande Americano,
yeah,
Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa.
Fucking hell! Like, apart from two of them, all of them, the rest of them speak Spanish. Do you know LA Knight speaks fluent Spanish?
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a weird fact.
No, I saw it. I saw him on a fucking like a Mexican dating show. Speaking Spanish.
Why are you watching Mexican dating shows?
No, it came up on my Facebook as like a clip of LA Knight speaking. It was like, what's that bloody dating show? The with the fucking engagement with a ring. The Bachelor or something. Is it The Bachelor?
Something like
Is
that.
that show? Yeah, so it was some show like that, basically.
So you were a few episodes deep on that, and you saw him in there speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
so it was,
you're a dark horse, man.
Bro,
watching Mexican Bachelor.
I saw it, and it was intriguing because he was fluent in Spanish, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously El Grande Americana can speak Spanish.
Well, he's always been able to speak Spanish.
Of course.
Lucha legend. It's
got to be Seth. Yes.
Yeah, I think everyone's sort of like the consensus is Seth, and if it isn't, I'm happy. Like, I'm happy. I don't, as with things like this anyway, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see a good match and like something that comes with it. Women's Money in the Bank may be a little bit more difficult with Alexa, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. Who's picking who?
Well, Naomi's not going to win it because she's going to obviously have someone come down and beat the shit out of her.
Right.
You may just have the threesome of Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez just going at it, and then you'll have Rhea Ripley and who else was it?
Alexa.
Alexa, yeah.
Bliss, yeah.
Going at it. So I'd like to see Stephanie Vaquer get it because she's got a huge push since she's been there, but I can't see it happening.
Anyone would think you were a very big fan of hers, Chris.
Bro, let me be honest, right? And this is going to be a controversy. This might be a terrible take, Bishop, right?
I'll let you know.
Sometimes I find women's wrestling too slow to get into, right? And too deliberate with the way people work. I don't know if it's I don't know why, but I find some women wrestlers to be obviously not as hard hitting.
Are you saying overly rehearsed? Or
yes, and a bit too deliberate. Like you can see clotheslines come in, and sort of the way they work sometimes is a little bit robotic in a way. There is a group of women's wrestlers that I enjoy watching because they hit as hard as the men. They're as quick as with what they're doing, and I think a lot of the women in this Money in the Bank match are like that. I still think with men and women, Liv Morgan is one of the best wrestlers that is around today. I think she's fantastic. Stephanie Vakir, I think she hits hard. She works well. I think Rhea Ripley, fantastic. Naomi, there's been a lot of stuff going on recently where have you seen the shots where she was like raining down and none of them were hitting and all that? Do you remember you saw that? And it was a bit shit. But again, some blokes do that. So it's not necessarily a male-female thing. But like I say, in general, I do prefer men's wrestling because it's sort of harder hitting and a lot faster. I don't know. It's just the physicality of it I prefer. But there are some women wrestlers that I really like and I think are fucking fantastic. And Stephanie Vakir is one of them. And I think if they can, I mean, who would Stephanie Vakir, for example, if she wins it, who's she going after? Because that's what I look at when it comes to Money in the Bank. I look at, right, if so and so is going to win, they're going to win because there's a clear path to someone who they're going after. Else, there's no point in them winning it. So
we've had plenty of times over the years where someone's won it and the direction just hasn't been clear.
Yeah,
like Theory won it and it just didn't really go anywhere, did it? Because he was never cashing in on Roman.
Yeah,
Roman was far too important.
Yeah,
to be cashed in on by Theory, which was, it's just how it is. It's not a slight on Theory. It's just Roman was too big to be cashed in on by him.
Yeah.
So he was thinking of cashing in on other titles, and it didn't go very well.
Well, I mean, because also the women have got 100% record of cashing in.
Yeah,
correct.
It's going to have to change eventually.
So it may change eventually. So I don't know if it will be this year, but Rhea Ripley, who would Rhea cash in on? Probably what's her name? Queen of the Sky.
Oh, yeah.
EO. So Rhea would cash in on EO, I think, if she won it. And maybe Stephanie Vakir would cash in on EO.
Who do you think is going to win?
My head says Rhea Ripley. My heart says Stephanie Vakir.
What does your balls say?
I don't think they have a.
They don't have a say.
They don't have a say in this
Fair
matter.
Enough. Bishop,
because it would say all of them.
Bishop, women's money.
I like Roxanne Perez. I think the more victories she gets, the more she'll have a Lyra type presence. Like, because I think when I was like I was saying earlier about the women not quite having the character down, Roxanne is program ready, right? Like I think she is, like Chris just said, she is one of those women in that ready to fuck people up stage of their career. So 100%. I think. And it wasn't a terrible wrestling take at all, because I've actually said the same thing where I love women's wrestling, but there is a physicality between them where their body chemistry doesn't line up like men do, for instance, with Hurricane Ranas and, just simple arm drags sometimes. They don't quite get where they need to be. What's up, kiddo? Want to say hi? Got the little one, just came home from school.
Hey, look who it is. How are you doing? You okay?
He can't hear you. He's just going to dance. All right. I'll be finished in a little bit. All right, later. Get out of here. Fucker licked my hand.
Nice.
But no, I think when women do wrestle well, it does come off as holy shit, that match was amazing. Because we don't get that as 100% of the time, as close to 100% of the time as we do with the men. But I think Roxanne, for me, is who I would like to see win, just because I think we're at a stage now where we have to elevate the younger generation of the women's division to be that next level of what's like kind of solidify what's below, Becky and Bayley and Bianca and Naomi and Charlotte, like all them, that next generation that's going to really take over going forward. I think I need one of those three to really do it. And I think Roxanne's the most ready.
And, it would be good as well because that would play great into the storyline where she then could take some gold back to the clubhouse, and then there's another belt there in the Judgment Day. And then the only person that doesn't have a belt would be Finn, and he's already salty about sort of a lot of shit. So then that might be the sort of thing for him leaving the Judgment Day or it imploding in some way, which would be pretty good.
He could just take the title off Dom whenever he feels like it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's one way of him getting something, is, you know, beating Dom the way that Dom won the Intercontinental Championship in the first place, you know, with a little bit of luck.
But we love Finn Balor on this podcast because he's a Tottenham fan. That's why he turned up to Monday Night Raw with a Spurs shirt on. Fucking get in there, my son.
Right, so we look forward to the release of Finn Balor. I think Julia's got a good shot at this one. I think there's a way that they're building her as well as Stephanie. I think those two could be the feud for the next 2 years. Like
Stephanie and Julia.
Yeah. I think, you know, with Becky slowly sort of bringing herself away from it. No, she's working with Lyra again this weekend. I do think she might win this one.
I think Becky will win this one. I think Becky will win this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about Becky and Lyra?
I love the setup. At first, it was a little off with Becky's character, but it's done nothing but raise Lyra's stakes. So Lyra either has to definitively put Becky out of her misery, bloody her up everything, and have her crawling away, or has to be humbled a little bit and then truly overcome the next step. So I think it can go either way. I wouldn't mind it going either way because I trust Becky with helping tell this story.
I think the stipulation sells to me that Becky's going to win it. The fact that she said, if I lose this one, I'm not going to challenge you for that belt again. And if
Cody,
and that one is like
AEW's Cody move.
Yeah, and if she wins, she's got to raise her hand, you know.
And so acknowledge Becky as the better woman. So there is a chance that Becky cheats the fuck out of this match and wins.
Yes.
And Lyra has to do it under duress. And then there's really the ability to build storyline after that. And then, you know, we get the two of them at SummerSlam for something a little bit more epic. And that'd be great.
In a cage or something like that, you know what I mean?
In a bird cage.
Woo! I don't know, man. Sometimes them big wings look fucking ridiculous, though, man.
She's not wrestling them, is she?
No. Do you know what it reminds me of?
It must be difficult getting through catering. Or
She's like it looks like a bit like the fucking gobbledygooker, but it looks like the Gene Hackman and Richard Pryor movie when the
gobbledygooker was a Guerrero.
When they go to jail. What's that fucking movie, man? And in the beginning, they dress up as they're like birds.
Gene Wilder,
stir crazy.
Yeah, now you said Gene Hackman.
Oh, I said Gene Hackman. Yeah.
We bad.
Yeah, we bad. I'm bad. Yeah, so it just reminds me of them fucking bird costumes.
So, I mean, I'm not sure if this will be the main event, but it is Cody Rhodes and main event Jay against Logan Paul and John Cena. I think John Cena should have come out on TV and said he was the one responsible for getting rid of R-Truth. I think that would have put more heat on him. It could have done it, you know, but yeah, this one, it feels like they might be setting up for the return of Roman somehow. That's gone around. Thank you. That's gone around a bit.
Bishop, squishy.
Yeah, that way.
There we go.
Yeah, squishy. That's pretty squishy.
We'll send you some of these. We'll do you a little care package of British sweets and shit.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I have no clue what the fuck's going on with this. I mean, John Cena has like 10 more dates left, and it's really not must see, and that's a problem, you know. But the match will be what the match is. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be awesome. Cody still sucks. So, you know,
thank you.
This is where we're doing. This is where we are. Like he even fucked up in his promo the other day. And I'm like, just stop messing up. No, don't say the most incredible shit of all time, but don't fumble the fucking words you're about to say.
That's hard times, Daddy. That's hard times.
His daddy had a worse lisp and was fucking never a mess the way Cody is. So I don't know, man. But it was. I think you said it on the last show, Chris. Like, or I'm not sure. One of you guys said it. The pop for Cody when he came out. Yes, absolutely. Again, the fanfare is there, and people can love whoever the fuck they want. I just want it to look good, and it's not looking good. So, but
it's not looking good, Brev. Not looking good, Brev. Yeah, I mean, with that match, I mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking love Logan Paul. I think when he's in a wrestling ring, whether he's talking, whether he's wrestling, I think he's phenomenal. You can say whatever you want about the guy, yeah. And what Dominic Mysterio said to him on the podcast about he will be a proper heel in Japan, was just the best shit ever. Like turn up in the hat and everything when he's wrestling.
He could, yeah. Like,
you know,
I'm pretty sure he's not welcome in Japan.
It's
That's
wild,
problem,
you
yeah,
know.
like,
But I mean, can you imagine that him turning up to wrestle in Japan in the hat? Like he would just be a real heel. But like,
just give him silence so they wouldn't boo him.
Logan Paul, he knows what he's doing wrestling wise, man. He does know what he's doing, and it is painful maybe for some people to see what he's doing. I don't know if all the talent like it. I mean, what do you reckon, Bishop? Physically in the ring when he's working, what do you think of Logan Paul? First of all, physically, as in
he's one of the best on the roster. He's literally one of the best on the roster. Yeah, he's as athletic as anyone, and like we were talking about with the women's wrestling, how it doesn't quite add up. Everything he does adds up. He does the trickiest spots in the world, and it doesn't look like he's thinking about it. Doesn't look like he's rushing it. All the body chemistry connects. Like he is 1,000% better than 99% of the AEW roster. Like that's how good of a wrestler he actually is. It's crazy.
We fucking said that on this show. We said as well he is better than 99% of the AEW roster. And what do you reckon promo wise? When he's got a mic in his hand, it's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, the number one thing with him that is something that most women have to get over, and Charlotte never has, is the confidence and comfortability to say whatever needs to be said. He doesn't get steamrolled by the crowd. He doesn't get flustered. He is a fucking pro on the mic. I don't think he's that great at delivering his message. I don't really believe everything he says. I don't necessarily like the way he does deliver promos, but he's never flustered by the crowd, and you can hear everything he says. So he definitely has work to do with the, like, give a shit about what you say, but he can stand up there for fucking the entire Raw and do the whole thing and not be flustered one bit. And he's quick on his toes to kind of like move to the next thing, but I don't quite think he has the meat there, you know.
I think that might be I think that might be partially because WWE writing staff are writing his stuff. I think if he was in charge more of creating what he was going to say, it might come across better. If
he has no pedigree in that though. Like he has there's nothing to judge. You know what he's done previously. He's not an actor, is he? He's not like you can't. We couldn't just say, oh yeah, if given the chance, he might knock it out of the park. I think it's safer to let the writers do it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And safety is WWE. It's a favorite sort of mechanism. Like it's maintaining a safe level of performance instead of trying to buck the trend and having. That's why Cross isn't on TV. You know, and Cross arguably should be.
Yeah,
because he's great promos. That documentary on YouTube was brilliant. I watched it. Like it was. You know, he was what a lot of people were talking about after WrestleMania weekend. Not many people were talking about Cena and Travis Scott and all that shit. It was talking about Karrion Kross. And that's because he didn't go with the safe sort of WWE promo. He told someone to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And, I don't think you can, with Logan, I think a lot of the thing about delivery and that is him. It's not, I don't think it's the writer's issue.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair. But sorry, mate.
Is there a situation where the champion takes the pin, whether it's Cena getting pinned by Cody or Jay getting pinned by Logan?
Maybe, but I'm also very concerned that Seth will just cash in on Jay anyway. That is something I'm concerned about for Money in the Bank. I think, you know, it is a way to get the belt off Jay without him looking weak, I guess.
I mean,
because Jay is fucking over. Like, there's no way to think like the live crowd love it. He's selling shirts,
but he don't need the belt. He don't need the belt for that. He never did need the belt for that. I mean,
I think it's helped. I think he's gotten more over with the belt.
I wasn't convinced. To be honest, I wasn't happy with the way that he beat Gunther. I don't think that match was booked very well. We've all seen Gunther punish and demolish people and have the shit kicked out of him and still keep going and going and going. And that match was...
Gunther's only lost like 4 times on television.
Bro,
I swear twice is by tap out.
And he fucking,
it counts.
Yeah, but what that match was made up of, for him to tap out in that way, I don't think it worked, man. I was watching it and I was like, nah, this is fucking bullshit.
I was surprised as shit, and what it felt like is it kind of helped solidify Gunther's character of being like a bully, a coward. So he can dish it, but he can't take it. So the second he feels like he's prone, he's like, fuck it, I quit. And I am bothered because we know that's not who he is. But if this is the character they want to represent, then they also need to tell the story of Gunther now being able to not quit, right? Like, get through the uncomfortable of being choked out. But I hear you. Like, it's not the move to do with Gunther. So whoever booked that, fuck, man. But, I mean, what's next, right? If he has the ability,
he's got a title.
I don't know.
He keeps saying to people, he was going to people saying, look, if you, who was it he walked up to and he said, look, if you beat Jey Uso, I think it was Logan Paul, wasn't it? And he went up to him and said, look, if you beat Jey Uso for this title, I'll take it as a personal attack on me and I will fucking come for you, basically. Because he said, it's up to me to beat Jey Uso. That's what I want to do. So, I mean, if Seth's going to cash in on Jey Uso on the night, so Gunther's got
he does have a title match lined up for the 9th of June or something like that. I think that was
Does he?
That was the plan. Yeah, he's going to face the champion on Raw on the 9th of June. I mean,
so whoever that
may be wrong, yeah,
whoever that may be,
of course, yeah,
yeah.
So the big question coming out of all of this really is, what is next for the TW Takes podcast?
Oh shit! Here we go. I was not expecting that one. I have to do it. I have to do it. I just have to do it. I want to find myself sitting at this microphone talking to whoever's listening. So I'll say you guys, because you guys do, and I appreciate that. Justin, Marsh, like the entire crew who's always supported me. But I also don't want to do it in a vacuum. I want to be able to do it into where I can expand my reach and really feel like what I'm putting into it's coming back to me. So it's not about stealing YouTube's money or, monetizing on Facebook or anything like that. But it is about trying to expand the reach so those kind of things come natural. And, you guys are doing phenomenal work with your branched out network, and you guys always done a great job. But we've had some conversations off camera about, kind of how things lay out for you guys. And I find that inspiring. I find that as a motivation to be able to lay down some podcasts. So the number one thing I want to do is sit down and put my audio out. The next thing I kind of want to evolve into is, even if it's pre-taped video, once I get more comfortable putting the audio out, I can turn the camera on while I am just talking here to the microphone and have the ability to people to digest the podcast visually, or have that be a better way to put clips out, things like that. So now that I have some free time, I do plan on starting with a Money in the Bank recap. That Monday morning, I should be recording and have an episode out Monday afternoon. And since I put that in the ether, I would prefer to hold true to that. So the very next thing for TW Takes podcast will be a Money in the Bank recap. And then we will then follow suit to not the original model where I did 3 episodes a week, but the passion project that this podcast is, and try to become more consistent.
Are there, I mean, we're branching out. We do a lot. I know you've got passions outside of wrestling that you enjoy, so like sports, other shit. I've always wanted to talk to people about movies is one specific thing, because I collect movie posters, movie memorabilia, signed memorabilia from TV and film stars and stuff like that. So if you ever want to talk about movies, come talk to your boy, and we will get down about that. Because there's the wrestling. We love wrestling. We do wrestling, but we love football, and we're talking about football because we love it. And we find it, again, quite cathartic in a way where we can step away from the wrestling and do something fresh, because then we feel, I think, a bit more energized when we come back into the wrestling.
No, that's a great point. And I've had a theory of my own for a while to transition from terrible wrestling takes to just TW takes. I mean, that's what the website's called, is TW takes. So if I brand myself as TW, then I can take on whatever I want. So I can have TW takes on movies. When I play video games, I do TW takes on Fortnite, right? Like, that's how I brand the video when I stream it out. So I look forward to when I come to the UK and it's, TW takes on Stevenage, right? Like, I can do, I can do whatever would fit with TW takes. So TW takes on movies, TW takes on music, TW takes on food, TW takes on everything. And that's kind of what I would like to eventually get to. But, from a brand standpoint, I am known as the Terrible Wrestling Takes guy. So to integrate all of that on the same platform, I'm not too sure I want to do that. But I also don't want to have 7 separate feeds for every podcast I decide to put out. So I'm just a little confused about, what route to go for all of that. But first step is to give the people what they want, and that's my my honest takes of what we see on TV when it comes to wrestling. But you are correct. Branching out with movies and things like that is definitely something in me. I have a couple movie episodes that I've put out. I put some out with the little guy too. We recap some what we do. Ninja Turtles episodes, and we've done the Ghost Rider movie. So like, the ability to do these things is definitely something in me that I would love to do, for sure.
Sweet.
I mean, there's got to be room for the Bishop Does Thanksgiving video, where you essentially I mean, we've seen the pictures. The turkey true. In that looks incredible. So maybe it's time. It's it's videos like that. It's Bishop cooks the perfect bagel. I don't know, like,
right.
It's shit like that. I'm telling you, man. Like, people love cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at some of these. Look at Uncle Roger and all that. All them crazy YouTube channels.
Thunder Rosa. Maybe I should do it in my underwear.
Hell yeah! There we go,
bro.
We've just made $1 million.
Oh yeah, that's money, dude.
I tell you what, if the universe allows, I will team up with you guys for a Chat Grapple OnlyFans, and we will munch kebabs and we will cook food naked, like all of that. Fuck it, we will butter parsnips, all of it.
Yeah.
I still, when you say the words munch kebab, yeah, like in the UK, like I say, we've said this before, like
it's another word for the Jack and Danny, yeah,
for the Jack and Danny, yeah, for the woman's for the lady parts. When you talk about a woman's kebab,
you're munching kebab.
You're munching kebab, mate. You know what I mean? Chili sauce, boss. So, yeah. That we're here for it, mate.
We are here. We are looking forward to anything and everything that you bring out. We are here for it. We are here for you. If you need anything from us, we are we are here, whether separately or together like this. I'm pretty sure you will become if we were giving out international caps for guys that were on the show, like, you'd probably get 100 eventually. You are, I'm not going to say arguably, you're a favorite guest, and that's not a slight on, Billy or anyone else, but you're the guy who comes on, you give us gold for an hour and 46 minus technical difficulties. And I can't thank you enough for giving up your time in the middle of the afternoon, which I guess is, I guess that's right.
Thing is, it's day one-ish as well, bruv. He's been down since day
one guy.
one-ish.
Yeah, he's a day one guy.
I think that's the biggest thing too for all three of us. From the very beginning of this podcasting journey back in 2020, when we all just trying to figure out what the fuck to do, we found each other and just supported each other from the very beginning. So, even just busting your guys' balls in the DMs, it's like, oh, you're gonna let Billy beat me? Like, you guys known him for a fucking year. Like, come on, man, get me on here. I need to keep the record up. But at the end of the day, if I truly wanted to come on the show, I know all I had to do was ask, and I don't want to ask. I want you guys to do your thing. Absolutely, please do your fucking thing, because that's what you guys do best. And shouts to the 93 Rumble. I definitely listened to that one.
But bro, it's just 3 oofs. Day one, it was just 3 oofs.
But yeah, just that support from the very
always going
beginning,
to sing at some point.
It's been the best. It's been the best, and I can't thank you guys enough.
I don't know really what else to add. So before we let you go and before we leave, I'm going to tell everyone to follow us on Facebook, because you don't have a Facebook page.
No, coming soon. Hey, why not?
Yeah,
why not? Right? If I'm going to branch out, coming soon.
Do it.
Get on that shit. Are you like individually on Facebook as a human?
No.
See, didn't even do that. Yeah,
bro.
It's too old and racist in America, Facebook. So,
I mean, I agree.
We love Facebook.
Racists, so
in England it's not quite. I mean, it still can be racist. But
dicks everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know if it's as racist. I mean, we've still got our sort of like, Uncle Knobhead who's on there like saying stupid shit, shouting into the computer and shit. But yeah, it's not that bad over here. I mean, we've got Marketplace on there, which is good.
You love a Marketplace.
Oh, dude, come on, man. I mean, get on that Facebook, and then we can,
So, jump on, and I'm talking directly to the rest of the people out there. Jump on Facebook and follow us there. 13,500 of you cannot be wrong.
Correct.
You can't be wrong. Like, keep hitting like, keep hitting share. For those that do it, we really do appreciate it.
How did 2 jabronis from Stevenage get 13,500 followers on fucking Facebook, bro?
I believe it's because we're really, really handsome.
I mean, probably. That's probably why.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
So, 2 ridiculously handsome British guys. Yeah, keep following us. There's a ridiculously handsome British guy, not British guy, an American guy there in Delaware,
American boy.
Exactly.
Take me on a trip, I want to go someplace. Take me to New York, I want to see LA. Don't worry. I won't give you the whole thing. We will, because I sounded like Estelle. Trust me.
All episode, and he finally hit a song. There you go.
Yeah, it was always coming. It was always coming.
It always got to happen, bro. I've got to give you that karaoke moment. We can clip that.
Of course we can.
Yeah. We'll clip it, baby.
So thank you to everyone that's still watching, still sticking around. We really do appreciate every last one of you. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done it. Hit the like button, or whatever. If you are listening, because I'm sure we will put this out as a listen episode as well, please don't just listen to us. Check out the Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast, because this guy knows his shit. He is a solo effort, man. He is, and my God, it is so easy to listen to. I can't stress that enough. It is so simple. Just listen to this guy talk. He has he's wonderful speaking.
He's got that ASMR shit going on, man.
Yeah, ASMR,
you need to be just like, yeah, baby, come and fucking watch this wrestling, bitch.
If you want a guy to narrate your whole shit like as your day goes on, this is the guy to do it. So please don't forget about him when you are listening to us. Listen to him too. So give everyone the love. Like, we can't thank you all enough for sticking around and watching this one. I'm JB. Next to me, the best Chris in all of wrestling podcasts, the Colombian king himself, Mr. Chris Dredd. I did not mean it that way, but fair enough.
Thanks for having me, guys. Much appreciated.
On the other side is Bishop from the Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast. Guys, we love and appreciate all of you. You all matter to us, and thank you so much. We will see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.